This is the Community Link Show, so just bringing all the conscious people there.
So, can we talk a little bit more, both of you guys, about Black Boys Can, Stephen Brooks, because he's going to be making an appearance, and about the film One Day, for anybody out there that might not know about it. Yeah?
Okay, I'll do Black Boys Can, and you can do One Day.
One Day, yeah.
Okay, so Black Boys Can is basically a mentoring scheme based in Birmingham, which basically, obviously, because Gloucester was a smaller city compared to Birmingham, we seem, in terms of the issues that we face, we probably pick them up probably far later than Birmingham does. So basically, because Birmingham's a bigger city, bigger population of BME people, the Black Boys Can basically is a mentoring scheme which has been set up in response to basically the underachievement of, say, black boys within society, especially within Birmingham. Not only within the education system, but also just generally in terms of how they relate to life. So basically, those involved in like the criminal justice system, for example. And what they actually look to do is they actually look to identify community mentors, so individuals from the community, and they actually look to provide young people with opportunities to either shadow them either at work or through mentoring. So it's providing an alternative to what could actually be sort of like a negative response that the young people may have been through or would go through. So for example, it's picking up young people who have been on the street to get involved in sort of like large groups or gangs, or could be, you know, associated with gangs, but then also those who could actually, as a result of hanging around in those groups, could actually go into serious organised crime. So that's a mentoring scheme which has been going for a number of years. It's very successful, very highly rated because of the impact that it has had within the community in terms of changing the attitudes of young people. We're all relatively young here in the studio, so we all know how important it is to sort of air our views, but sometimes with some groups of young people you can be airing your views and it's not in the appropriate way, so it can, you know, you can either be seen as being loud or aggressive or, you know, violent. Like with the student protests, you had one group which was actually dealing with it in a sensible manner, but then you had others that just basically wanted to just turn it into sort of like a free-for-all. So Black Boys Can is basically Stephen Brooks, who is the managing director from that group, will actually be coming down basically just to share good practice in terms of what they have been doing up in Birmingham. It's always good to know that there are other groups that can actually support us, so that we're not actually, we don't A, feel that we're alone, but also B, we're not reinventing the wheel. So they'll be actually coming down to support us and to advise us and to advise the young people in terms of how we can articulate their views and how we can actually build on this process of, as a result of engaging the young people, how we can actually get the young people to actually take ownership, because that's what we want as a result of the Stand Up Speak Out event. It's not about Albert, Alyssa, Robin and Dean and other individuals. It's about actually getting those young people to actually take ownership and actually say, actually, you know, this issue affects me. This is a possible solution. This is what I can do about it. And too often, young people, they just see the problem as somebody else's problem, and then they complain about it, and then they complain, oh, this is dry, there's nothing there for them to do. And then you ask them, well, actually, what did you do about it? And they actually say, you know, they're umming and ahhing because they feel that, you know, it's society's job to solve the problem for them, where actually in some cases, as Dean was saying, you know, actually, you know, growing up in that system where it's actually shaped your life and your character, you are actually in control and you can actually influence change. So that's Black Boys Can, really.
Just on the note of Black Boys Can, I know a few people that went through the mentoring scheme that they provided, and they have become like some of the greatest people that I look up to, and they're younger than me. And even just to add something to this mentoring thing. I just became a mentor. It's not necessarily through Black Boys Can, but it's another organisation. And I think when someone takes interest in a young person's life, whether that be through education, through just literally what are you doing with your life, you always see some sort of growth in that individual's life. So I'm hoping I've took on a few people and I'm trying to do the same. I'd hope other people do the same thing. So the whole idea of mentoring is awesome, and it really does work.
It's also about just providing someone there just to provide solutions. You know, often young people, especially young men, they don't want to talk about the problems that they face. So it's really, if they can identify with somebody a positive influence that they feel comfortable and sort of, you know, go into and talk into, and also that, you know, for example, I work with young people, and the young people that I work with, they know me quite well, and they know that I've got their interest at heart. So if they're behaving in a way which is inappropriate, you know, and I go to them and I say, actually, your behaviour is just totally inappropriate, you're behaving like an idiot, for example, they will understand that it's not me trying to have a go at them, it's me trying to actually support them. And that's what we need. We need more people who are actually in that role of actually providing support to young people, so that they can actually feel part of society and want to take part in society.
And I think it's maybe important to pull out the message as well that mentoring is a two-way thing. So as much as the person being mentored will get out of it, somebody who volunteers to be a mentor, as you know, Golden Child, you here, you've just said that you must get a lot out of it for yourself. So yeah,
definitely, man. I smile more times than I frown. Yeah, it's really good. Like, I've only really just started, but yeah, I'm really excited about this process, and I'm hoping in a year's time, when my mentee, who I'm mentoring, we'll be at a great place.
There you go, then. Man. Like I said, building the blocks of the community. We've got a few minutes left before we have to wind up our interview, but I want to talk a little bit about the film One Day. So, Golden Child, what can you tell us about this film?
Yep, it's a film based in Birmingham, so that's Birmingham, England, for those of you who don't know. It's about basically a gang violence, and it's basically sort of like a narrating a scene, or set up basically on one day. There's two crews, and the main guy, I think his name's Mikey, if I can remember, and it's based around his character. So what drugs are about, how people get into gangs, how's the life of the gang crime and stuff like that. And it's also a musical, so that's awesome. I think I saw it on TV a few weeks ago.
Okay, I didn't know that. So there you go, everybody. Get in and have a look at that. But it's like we said, we're encouraging here. It's not just about black boys. It's not about Asian boys, white boys. It's about all boys, it's about all girls, it's about everybody across the community, everybody in Gloucester coming to this event, making your voice heard. You've heard Albert himself say, if you're aged between 14 and 25, get down to the Trust Centre on Wednesday the 23rd of February 2011 at 7 p.m. Make your voice heard. Share your opinions, because at the end of the day, Albert has said this, and I'm sure Golden Child, I know Robin will back this, and I back this 100%. You are the future. All young people are the future, and we build our foundations on what you lay. So if you start laying positive now, you'll see the benefits in the end. As my gran always says, you must straighten the tree before it bends. So straighten your tree now, and then you don't need to worry about it bending in the future. Wow.
And also, because it's in half term, there should be no excuses for young people to, get down to the Trust Centre. If you're unable to get down to the Trust Centre, then contact GFM. If you're interested in actually getting involved in the event, or obviously, because it's just going to be an event and there's going to be follow-up work. So if you're unable to come to the event, hopefully you are able to come to the event, but if you want to get involved with the follow-up work, then just contact GFM, and they will put you in touch with GASP. And obviously, in terms of the other public meeting, which will be in March, just stay tuned to GFM.
And there you go. And we've got a host of young listeners on this show. You've got myself, you've got Robin sat here, Tamana, Kafili, we've got Holly and Michaela, we've got Monique, we've got Amy. Who else have we got? We've got Barbara, who used to be part of it and still pops in from time to time. So all of them, I'll be encouraging all of them to get down to the Stand Up Speak Out event. Myself, I will be getting there as well. I'm sure Robin will, and if he isn't, I will make him. Robin's not saying a word. He's looking very afraid. But like I said, Wednesday the 23rd, we will be repeating this up until the day itself. Trust Centre, 7 p.m. Golden Child will be performing. You've heard all of the things he's offered. even if nothing else, come and see that. Come and see that. Yeah. Come and see Golden Child. If you want a bit of music, it's going to be a whole event there, everybody. So I encourage all of the listeners. I encourage, as we say on GFM, and as you will hear in 1 second, tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for coming in.
96.6. Tell your friend. Tell a friend. 96.6 GFM.